was going back and forth figuring out if I should share this story, but since I'm laying here post self pleasure and melting, also in the same room where this incredibly traumatic experience happened, I figured, why not? Aside from me writing a blog post about it, I haven't really ever shared this story with anyone, so here it goes. When I was 14 years old, I met this guy at a concert, and he was 15, so we were around the same age. Well, this was like early 2000s before smartphones, and I had a flip phone at the time. We started talking almost every single night after we met, and it was super cute, puppy love. He was so freaking cute. I just remember, simply falling in love with him at 14. Well, our conversation started to get spicier and spicier, as it does when you're a teenager. And there were times where we would have phone sex. I actually even remember having one of my first orgasms. I don't know if it was my first, it might have been my first. But I remember going into like this vortex of ecstasy and then being like, whoa, what just happened? I still remember that he was like, well, you came. And I'm like, what's that? Anyways, a lot of moments that we had on the phone together were really sweet and cute like that. But there was one night where it was fucking awful. In the middle of a heated phone sex moment, right, in my room, suddenly I hear my brother screaming at the top of his head, banging on my door, demanding me to open the door. Obviously, I'm frantic. I am scared, right? Because he sounds like he's gonna fucking kill somebody. I quickly put on some clothes and I run to the door to open it. He grabs my cell phone from my hand, like forces it out of my hand, and then proceeds to cuss out this kid. Then, obviously, because he's screaming at the top of his head, like at 2 o'clock in the morning, my entire family is now awake. My mom, my dad, and my other brother run to my room as my brother is cussing this kid out on the phone. And I vividly remember my mom asking him, what's going on? What happened? And my brother, with his nostrils flared, oh shit, I'm getting emotional talking about this. With his nostrils flared and just with so much anger in his eyes, points at me and says, do you see what your daughter is doing? I caught her talking to this guy on the phone. And my mom looked at me and she said, you no longer have your phone. You are no longer allowed to speak to this guy. I was 14 years old. He was 15. Like, we were teenagers figuring out our sexualities. It was sexual, but it was also incredibly wholesome and innocent. And I just remember feeling like shit about myself. Like, if I had done something absolutely terrible, like if I had done the worst thing anybody could have done. And I just remember, after that, my mom taking my phone, everyone leaving my room, and me just laying in my room by myself, embarrassed, ashamed, confused, sad, worried. It was fucking awful. Now, in retrospect, and if you're a parent, I'm sure you understand, I know that what my family was doing was trying to protect me. And I even remember later my brother said, it's just that you don't know some of these kids. Like, he could have had his friends on the line, like, all talking with you, or I don't know, whatever. He clearly was trying to protect me from, like, the horrors of the world. And I get that now, but the way that he went about it, the way my family went about it, was not the right way. It created such a feeling of fucking shame inside of me when it came to masturbation, self-pleasure, or anything sexual for that matter. For the longest time, honestly, up until like 4 years ago, I would touch myself with the blankets completely up to my neck. It wasn't until one day I was in Mexico in my own apartment, and I'm like, why am I fully covered? I live by myself. I gotta practice self pleasure with the freaking blankets off. And so now I force myself to do so that I can, learn how to be free. Well, now I don't have to. Now it comes very natural, but in the beginning I had to, right? To kind of snap myself out of that. Well, when I did my market research for Shameless Desire, my 8-week group coaching program for women, masturbation was the number one thing that women brought up as something that is still incredibly shameful for them. A lot of women that I interviewed said that till this day, whenever they touch themselves, they feel completely awful afterwards. And I gotta tell you, self pleasure and masturbation has become one of my favorite pastimes. But I went on the journey, right? I went on that healing journey. I'm still on that healing journey. We're all on that healing journey. And it's been such a blessing to be on it. If this story resonates with you and you are a woman, I want you to know that this doesn't have to be your life. You can get to a place where self pleasure, masturbation, sex itself becomes one of your favorite things to do. I created an 8-week group coaching program called Shameless Desire for women on healing sexual shame. If you are ready to break free from this experience, here is an answer for you. DM me Shameless or throw it in the comments and I will send you the link so that you can sign up. We begin January 30th and we meet every Tuesday for 8 weeks. There's a morning cohort and there's an evening cohort, so you can choose whichever one works best for you. I'm so stoked to facilitate this healing experience because I got more of these stories and healing from them has not been easy, but when you have a community of strong ass women doing it with you, it becomes a little easier. I'm so excited to welcome you into the space. DM me if you have any questions and let's get 2024 started on the right foot. I love you.